Like that house that you saw in Rockland, I mean, they paid $690 for it 3 years ago, and now we're at $670, and they put money into it. It's a sad situation.
It's tough,
but
yeah.
it's what it is. You know, they need to sell.
You're listening to the Ottawa Real Estate Podcast, your go-to source for all things Canadian real estate. And now, here are your hosts, Paul Stevenson and David Warren. Hello and welcome back to the Ottawa Real Estate Podcast, your go-to source for all things Canadian real estate. My name is Paul Stevenson. I'm a level 2 mortgage agent. And a friendly reminder, if you ever have questions about mortgages, your renewal, or anything having to do with financing, I'm here. I'm happy to help. Reach out. My contact information is in the description. Quick shout out to our amazing sponsors as well. Gerté Poirier, Avocad Lawyers, Big Insurance in Westboro, Centum, and Easy Neon Signs. If you go to easyneonsigns.ca and use the promo code TOREP, you'll get 20% off each and every order. We are joined today. I'm very excited. Dave is actually away, unfortunately, but in his absence, we have two incredible guests, and I'm going to bring them in now. We have Greg Campbell, who you all know, and Francis Ebbrell. We got one East and one West End realtor, and I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to have them on and kind of talk about what's happening in the city, what we're seeing at both ends. So welcome to both of you.
Thanks, Paul. Nice to be here.
Thank you. Nice to be back, Paul. So when, unfortunately Dave is away, I say fortunately Dave is away. Thank
When
goodness.
Dave's away, Greg and Francis will play.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, for
Today.
sure.
So let me start with yourself, Francis. Would you like just maybe give everyone an introduction to yourself, how long you've been in the industry, and what areas you kind of focus on?
Okay, so I have been in the industry since about 2013, early 2014, around that time. I was a radio host in Ottawa for many years before that, and I moved to Carleton Place, and this is where my real estate career began. For a long time, I thought I wanted to practice in the city because that's where I had kind of a reputation for my radio. And then in the recent years, I've really shifted to trying to stick to the West End, and I love it. I love this community, and I love not going past the split.
And Greg, you're on the other sside of the split.
I'm on the other side of the split. I love being on the other side of the split. I grew up on the other side of the split, so I'm do it. Yeah, I've a bit about me, Paul. I guess that's where we're headed with this. I have been in the business a long time, just about 20 years since I actually got my license, which is insane to me. I've done it all. I remember meeting Francis. I'm trying to remember as you were saying that. We met like when you had just started, I think.
I'd been in it for a little while, but I had just taken a small hiatus from my Keller Williams career to go over to Remax Core. And I met you at Core through Brock because Brock wanted a reality TV show shot about his mortgage business. And I had the contact to do it. And he brought you in for an episode when we were shooting a pilot.
Story.
He brought you in for the pilot. And that's where I met you.
Amazing. And I remember the space in Carleton Place, not too far from Paul's office.
Yeah, you came out with Blue Panda for a visit.
Yes.
We've been through it, my friend.
Wow.
We've been through it.
We have history.
We've gone through a lot.
We have history. And the fact that when Paul said, you and Francis, I was like, this is amazing. We know each other well. We just saw each other in Halifax.
Yeah, we were in Halifax. And I think you're heading for another conference today.
I am. I'm going to the Buzz conference in Toronto with another company that I've taken a role with, Secure My Offer, which is home seller closing insurance.
I wanted to actually ask you about that. You've been posting on LinkedIn, on socials. From the realtors I've spoken to about it, seems like a very needed service. So maybe give us the Coles Notes, quick summary. What will you be promoting at Buzz? Tell us about Secure My Offer.
Sure. And for the listeners too, who haven't seen me in a while, like this is just something that I started with this year. And I think it's beneficial to anyone who's serious about real estate or buying and selling that watches the show. It's a new product. It's the first of its kind, home seller closing insurance. Essentially what it is, your home is for sale. You have a buyer. They come in for whatever reason. You may be nervous about them closing, it's not super common for buyers to default, but it's been happening more in recent years. Buyer delays are a very common thing, as I'm sure Paul and Francis can both attest to. What this does is it's a policy that protects you against buyer default or delays. So let's say it's closing day. You have an offer on another home that's closing the same day or the next day. The buyer of your property suddenly can't close. Well, guess what? Secure My Offer comes in. Their policy covers everything. You get your money. You can move on with the assurance that you're going to close on your property. And then the company takes over the process. Title on the home stays with you, but Secure My Offer takes over the process with the same realtor. They put it back on the market and, hopefully sell for the same amount. Or if you get more, you keep that money. If it sells for less, the insurance policy covers it. So it's definitely a safety net for home sellers and for home buyers, presenting it as a buyer deposit enhancement. So if you're buying a new house and you're in, let's say, competing offers, you both got your deposit down. If you have your Secure My Offer insurance policy with you, the seller knows that you're going to close. So which is the safer buyer to work with?
Right.
Yeah. And for agents, for their clients, like you go into a listing presentation, I offer home seller closing insurance for you. You work with me and then you get this policy. And whether that's the agent covering the policy, or whether that's the seller covering the policy, or whether it's a shared policy purchase, you figure out how you want to do that as a realtor, how you want to present it. But we think it's a next level product. There is a deal right now with RE/MAX Canada. They'll be talking about that more at Buzz Conference on a panel. Morgan Gerard, the CEO and founder, he's on a panel tomorrow or on Thursday. And it's a big deal. Like a lot of people are taking notice of it. We're pretty happy with where we've come since it started only a few months ago.
What's the general premium for something like that? Like if someone wanted to take advantage of that, what's kind of the
there's
average
different
cost per se?
It can go, you're anywhere from $300 to $1,500, depending on the type of policy you get and the purchase price of the property.
I think it's a good deal, Greg. I mean, if I can just let my buyers and sellers put them at rest once we have that agreement in hand, once the deal's firmed up, there's nothing else that can happen. I said, pack your boxes and get out.
Well, that's it. And I mean, and that's the whole thing. It's the dollar amount. It's one of those things where, and you can pay at closing. Like nothing comes out of your pocket. It's all dealt with the lawyers at closing. So it's like, it's an absolute no brainer to use this product. And it's worked already for a few agents and a few sellers. But now that we're getting the word out more, we're expecting a big push, especially with the deal with RE/MAX.
Cool.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing with that is just kind of educating and letting people know it even exists, right? Because there's probably so many. That's the biggest thing is just education. Because ultimately, until this moment, like Francis wasn't aware, at least of the specifics of it. Like I'm still learning it, so we're seeing it from you. But I think going to these sorts of conferences and getting it more widespread and more known will certainly, once people know about it, it seems like a no-brainer. Like you said, just kind of the cost of doing business and just secures your offer.
Yeah.
And it's something you can, it's something you can ask the sellers to fund, you can ask the buyers to fund, or you can fund it yourself. And funding it yourself is assuring you get your commission.
Well, that's the thing. As a listing tool, I think it's massive.
Okay.
You walk in and you're offering that, like what, no other agent is offering that right now. And I still think there's going to be quite a while until everybody catches on. Like until you're in a listing presentation against another agent that is offering that, I think that's a while from now. So it makes you a big differentiator right now.
Nice one. Well, good luck at the conference today.
Thank you. All right, guys. See you later.
Thanks, Greg. And back to Francis. So you guys are kind of aware of this, but I wanted to switch it up a bit. Dave and I usually just talk about what's happening in the industry, headlines, what we're seeing. But being that we have two incredible guests today, I wanted to kind of switch the pace up. So I've created a few fun segments that I thought we could all partake in. And I figured since Greg, you're kind of heavy east, Francis, you're heavy west, very far west.
Heavy west.
I have a few. You kind of do an east versus west type of look here. So the first one I have it's called Who Buys This? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read out a client profile, something that I've seen recently. And you're each going to get kind of 20 to 30 seconds to pitch why your side of the city or something in your area would be a really good fit for these. So we'll start with Francis for this segment, just so that we have some organization here and we're not just yelling over each other. But here's the first one, Francis. I'll do one for each of you. So first one is a single parent, 2 kids, a budget of $650,000, works downtown 3 days a week, needs good schools and a low stress commute.
Okay, well, this one's easy. Carlton Place. What did you say the budget was? $750? $650. No problemo. This parent needs to move to Carlton Place where everything is in walking distance. They can afford a small single family home with a basement apartment to offset some of their mortgage for them, because we all know as a single parent, any extra income is good, right? So we have great schools, we have amazing community, we have daycare spots. I mean, come to Carleton Place. I'll give you the magical mystery tour and you're sold.
I'm moving.
I
Greg-
know, Greg.
Greg's
I
no
know.
longer
You need
East
to
End.
be here.
Just when the words magic and mystery are together in the
Magical
same
mystery
sentence,
tour.
I
Let
have
me show
nowhere
you
else
what
to
you
go.
Yeah, let me show you what you can afford in the prettiest town in Canada. Done.
Yeah, you've heard of the Ottawa Haunted Tour. Francis offers the, was it Magical Mystery
Magical
Tour?
mystery tour.
Yeah.
I didn't
Carleton Place
coin
in
the
a
term.
nutshell. All right, Greg, here's one for you. And it doesn't have to be necessarily in the East, but I think this will be a good fit. First time buyer couple, budget's $450, both remote workers, and they're looking for a starter home with future upside.
Yeah, for that price point of remote workers, I would definitely place them in like Ember and Russell kind of area if they're truly remote, because they can get a little bit more space, something newer, and a great community, I think, which is, doesn't it just behaves different than a typical suburb, I guess.
Touching on first-time home buyers, like in that price range, I mean, it's funny. We were all in the industry 10 years ago. Like $450 10 years ago is getting you like a beautiful single-family home, like remote.
Oh, yeah.
$450 these days, like where are you looking? What areas, and what's kind of that starter home now for a first-time buyer couple?
Okay, I can address this for the West End.
Mm-hmm.
So at $450, you're really not getting anything that's very livable in Carleton Place. There may be condos, but again, that's going to drop your affordability because you got to pay the condo fees.
Mhm.
So for $450, and I don't love sending people to Smiths Falls, but if you are remote workers and you didn't mention children, I think Smiths Falls is a great opportunity to get in and fix something up a little bit. Your $450 is going to buy you a nice house in Smiths Falls. This is a nice, livable house. And we are seeing more investors go there. We're seeing more young people who are a little bit adventurous because they've been priced out of the city heading to Smiths Falls. So the community is growing. People having children are all it's like a little expat community. And as the city gets bigger and the LRT comes out further, it is going to get more commutable. It's been a tough thing for Smiths Falls because it's been a one industry town. So when their industry goes under, the whole town dips. And that's been the problem with Smiths Falls. But as the city grows, that's not going to be a problem. And people who got in early are going to be glad that they did. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site with the canals through there. They have a yacht rental situation. You can go and rent a yacht. People come from all over Europe to do it. The infrastructure of the city is gorgeous. And yeah, if you're young and you're ready to try it, let's go.
It's funny that you say Smiths Falls, because I was actually just out there on Sunday looking at a place on Queen Street, and it's an amazing it was an amazing property. Like, it fronts on Queen Street, but then the backyard is massive, and then the parking is on Phillip right behind, and it's $465, and honestly it's a 1960s ranch style with you stairs up. I mean, it was like, for the price, it's absolutely incredible.
You can buy a beautiful Victorian there that you could build a second dwelling into for $450.
Yeah. Smiths Falls, underrated.
Underrated for sure.
Bringing it front and center.
Yeah, it's a cool
and it
place.
It had its moment, like, I guess it was probably around 10, 15 years ago, like when Tweed was opening up there, everything
when
like
Snoop was there all the time.
Yes,
I mean, come on.
Yeah, it had a huge bump, and then it kind of stagnated a bit over the last few years, but definitely great opportunities there. Last one for this segment. This is for both of you. So downsizing empty nesters. Okay, budget $750,000. They want walkability, coffee shops, low maintenance.
I'm gonna let
Francis.
Greg
Here's a softball. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I know. I'm gonna let Greg because I was just gonna crush it. Go ahead, Greg.
It's tough right now for empty nesters because they're basically making a lateral move with their retirement.
Yes,
they sell their house and then there's nothing left. They've leveraged it, maybe helping out their kids. This is my interpretation of empty nesters right now, anyways. So if they're going to get a condo, there's different lifestyle for different personality types, right? I mean, some might want to just move into a condo in Westboro for walkability, but I think, did you say bungalow? They want a bungalow?
No, I didn't say that.
Ideally, they do.
You didn't.
We're
I don't
just
know why.
assuming. We all assumed it. We all assumed it.
Because they
right?
all want a bungalow.
Yeah.
That's why they're so expensive.
I'll tell you something that I'm starting to see, and sorry if I'm not going off topic, but it's just like the idea of the lateral move. They're good. They're going to go into a condo. They're going to basically spend all their savings on that condo to have the walkability if they want. It could be, ideally, I think they'd be looking at something in the Glebe or in Westboro, Hintonburg area, maybe. But then they can get more bang for their buck if they want to be a little bit further out, either to Carleton Place, or again, they can be out in Embrun. That's got a great main street. It just depends on what kind of lifestyle they're really looking for. But in terms of like instant walkability to restaurants and shops and everything, they're definitely in the core. And for that $750, they're not getting what they're coming from, right? Although it's a little bit better right now, condos are cheaper. Yeah, so it's tough. I'm seeing a lot of empty nesters, or boomers as we call them, choosing to rent, because they're not sure what they want to do, where they want to be, how much they're actually going to be in the city, and if they want to keep their money in real estate, or if they just want to have it to live a lifestyle where they can come and go as they please.
Yeah. And what about yourself, Francis?
So, I mean, I think you were probably expecting me to say Carleton Place, because I love Carleton Place. And Carleton Place, obviously, for everything is great. But if they're not going to be moving where their children are so they can be close to their grandchildren, which is what a lot of them do, I think Almont is a really great option for these people, because Almont has been proactive in their building, and they have put in a lot of townhouse bungalows that are well within this budget. Walking distance to downtown, walking distance to the river, minimal effort to take care of the yard, and not far from retirement homes. So these, when you age out of your family home, your row house, bungalow, whatever it is, the retirement home's not far down the street. Or if you have to move your spouse and you stay in the home until that time, it's all there. I think Almont's really well set up.
Almont's a good spot. You're much better
Yeah.
at this than I am, Francis. Thank you for being here today.
I studied. I did my homework, Greg. You're too busy.
I'm securing my offer.
You're
Yeah, Greg's
securing your
securing the
offer.
offer.
You're showing houses. You're running to Smiths Falls. You're fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, Almont is excellent, and also very close to Carleton Place, very close to Ottawa. You're not far from the highway, so it's good east and west, and yeah, they've really revamped that downtown core as well. Are you trying to grow your mortgage business? Centum has the tools and support to help you take your business to the next level. Get access to everything from free, unlimited custom marketing to daily direct pay. Find out what your business can do with Centum. Learn more at joincentum.ca. Your home is one of your biggest investments, and the team at Big Westboro can help you protect it. Our expert brokers will find the perfect coverage to keep your home and belongings safe. Call 613-239-5792 or visit thebig.ca/Westboro for a free quote. Think big, protect what matters most. Are you thinking of buying or selling a residential property? Relationships are at the heart of every real estate transaction at Gertin-Poirier Avocat Lawyers. We love to bring residential buyers, sellers, agents, lenders, mortgage brokers, and the law together to close the deal for you for an effortless client experience that opens doors. Call us at 613-744-4488 or visit our website at gertinpoirierlaw.ca. Let's get to the heart of your deal. This episode is brought to you by Easy Neon Signs. Visit easyneonsigns.ca and use the promo code TOREP, TOREP, to get 20% off each and every order. easyneonsigns.ca, Canada's finest custom neon sign maker. Speaking east versus west, I wanted to quickly have a few myths. In Ottawa, we have a lot of myths about the east and the west, and there's always this ongoing battle of people thinking that one side is better than the other. So I'm going to throw out some myths, which I apparently can't say today, and you guys can refute them if you'd like. So I'm going to start with one here. Greg, this one's for you. Traffic heading east is always brutal.
It's because of the split.
Yeah.
The split is brutal. However, I will say that in my experience in recent years, going west, leaving the city and going west takes much longer than it does to go east because the distance is further. Going to Canada from downtown is a lot further than going to Orleans, and going south to Barhaven is the same thing. But I mean, the traffic anywhere in the city is brutal. I'll just anyone who says the traffic going east is more brutal than west, obviously does not live in the East End, I guess. They just assume that and they don't drive it enough.
That's
all
fair.
I can say about that.
And the light rail has been ongoing for a while. especially heading east after Montreal Road, that
Mhm.
2-lane
If
each
if
way
if
highway is.
but if that train ever starts running, good Lord, it should. I hope it changes things. I don't know if it will, because people are just going to be like, well, it's taken this long. I don't know if I trust it. I'm going to wait 5 years to take it to make
Yeah.
sure that it's running properly.
We joke about it on the show, but there was that sign at Blair Road, on track and on time, 2018. Here we are, 8 years later.
Yeah.
So, Francis, this one's for you.
Okay.
The West End has no culture or nightlife.
Well, I mean, there's Crazy Horse. What
Funny
else
how
is
that's
there
the
in
first thing that
Canada?
pops into everyone's head.
There's a Moxie's, there's the movie theater, but you're not wrong. I'm not sure it's much better in Orleans, but I don't know
No,
Orleans as well as Greg. So,
no.
I mean, if you're not gonna be downtown, then you come to Carleton Place, right? We've got 2 breweries, we have one of the top restaurants in Canada. It's a We've got everything. It's not a real late nightlife, but you can go and catch
No,
some
no.
live music.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
home by 11. But
yeah,
I do
which
want
is
to give it.
great.
It is great, especially when you start earlier. I do want to give a special shout out to West End, to the Cheshire Cat. I've been there a few times recently. Love
Yeah,
it. I mean, I've been there
yeah,
previously
Is
too,
that
but
is that
in
in
Carp.
Carp? Yeah, in
that's
Yeah,
Carp.
right.
I've never
great
been
spot.
Yeah.
there. I've only heard about
Oh my
it.
God, Greg, you gotta go.
Must
It's
go.
legendary.
Okay,
Uh,
we're
I'll
going.
do one more. And you can both discuss it. The East End is only good for first-time home buyers.
No, it's not true, but it is a good point, because, as I'm sure Francis, I think most people in the business understand this, that you are going to get more bang for your buck in Orleans, for sure, on basically any type of home.
Versus
I always
Canada, you
put
mean?
it as, if you're buying 600,000 in Barhaven, I say the same house is 575 in Orleans, it's 625 in Canada, at a minimum, for the
At a
same.
minimum.
Yeah,
Uh,
for
yeah.
the same model and finishes. Like, you're looking at a $25,000 to $40,000 difference for the same property, I would say, depending on how it's finished.
How about the bigger properties, Greg? Like I was out there on the weekend. I showed one of
You
your
were.
listings, in fact. Interesting listing.
Yeah. Yes.
We looked at a couple Rockland a little further out, and there are some pretty huge properties
Hmm.
at fairly low prices right
Yes.
now. So that's what you're not going to find on the West End. If you have a big property on an acre or more, you're over $1 million. Like it's very expensive over here. In Orleans, I think you can get that dream home at a lower price. Am I right?
You can. And that's the thing. It's relative to price, right? Like, if we're talking $1 million, like, you're
Yeah.
easily 900 in Orleans and you're $1,000,001
Yeah.
in Canada,
Yeah.
right? If it's $1 million in Barhaven type thing. But that house that you saw in Rockland, I mean, they paid $690 for it 3 years ago, and now we're at $670, and they put money into it. And
Yeah.
it's a sad situation,
It's tough.
but
Yeah.
it's what it is. They need to sell, and
It's
unfortunately,
a
that's where
buyer's
we're at.
market.
The buyer's
It's a
market
buyer's.
still.
Call me buyers. Buyers call me.
Well,
Sellers, sellers call Greg.
I want to
Is
get into. I want to talk a bit about the market right now.
Go on.
Well, I actually, yes, let's do that. I just wanted to ask, like, is this pricing a Montreal Toronto proximity thing? Is it just denser in the West End because of that highway to Toronto, or like what causes such a huge
I
price
think that's
difference
part of it.
between? Yeah,
I
is
mean,
it the
it's
proximity in the
it's
city?
part of it. Like, Canada. I mean, with the tech, obviously. I don't know. Like, I mean, that's just the way it's been for quite a while, and more people that come in from out of town, I find, target Canada and Barhaven first. Orleans, they kind of find out about Orleans after the fact, when they realize they can get more value out here.
Is there an element of there being more French speaking in Orleans intimidates people that are non-French speaking people?
It's an interesting comment. I don't think that, like, it's not that French here.
Yeah.
It is more, obviously. But I mean, you've
Yeah.
got French, and then there's a lot of French African in Orleans now, and there's a lot of French African if you go even out to Rockland right now.
Right.
That's a big thing that's changed a lot. And I know, if you look at other cultures throughout the city, like, I believe, sure, I'm correct when I say this, there's a larger Asian population in Canada, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a larger Indian population in
Barhaven.
Barhaven.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's where it seems to work. And I don't know
So maybe that Asian population and the Indian and the Arabic population don't really want to go to Orleans as much, and maybe that's why the prices are not as high.
I don't know. I don't
I don't
know.
know. We're guessing.
But I mean,
You
it's
know?
true. If you look at Plantagenet and Rockland compared to, Stittsville,
Yeah, those
Barhaven,
communities
and
are definitely
you know.
more French, like 100%.
Yeah.
Like the further you go out, the Frencher it gets,
That's right.
towards Montreal.
So that
That's what
might have
yeah.
some influence.
It could have
Greg,
some
you want to talk?
influence.
Greg, you want to talk about what you're seeing in the market right now, or the market in general?
I do want to talk
you have
about
the
what I'm
floor.
seeing in the
Let's hear
market
it.
because it's always surprises me. I do pretty well in anticipating what's going to happen in the market every year. And and you know this, Paul, I've been like, Ottawa, we're at the point of a flat line, I feel, for the next few years, no matter what, give or take. But the amount of buyers that stepped back last fall and the amount of properties that were available, good properties at reasonable prices that needed a little bit of work that people weren't jumping on, all of a sudden, what a surprise, the ones that have been sitting and the buyers that waited, all of a sudden, I heard of 9 multiple offers last week. 9 multiple offers last week, some on properties that have been sitting for 4 months.
9 different properties that
Yeah.
came into multiple offers, not
Yes.
9 offers on one property?
No. One property in Orleans had 15 offers, sold for $80,000 higher. It was underpriced, like it was an estate sale, but still, like in no world in my mind it was worth what they paid for it. It smelled like smoke, needed at least a $20,000 remediation. No magical land was it worth what they paid for it. It was a townhouse.
What?
And it blew me away. So, and then there's another one that I saw, sold in multiples, but sold at list. There's one that was in multiples, sold under list, but that one was just new on the market. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is I was not expecting this type of activity. I had some clients of mine who have been on the fence of buying. Their price point is $1 million, hoping to get under $1 million. So we talk off and on. I get a message from him the other day, and he says, we're interested in seeing this one, and we're interested in seeing this one around the corner. I look online. The one around the corner has been on for a while, just sold. The one that he had sent me, 3 days on market, I messaged the agent. She goes, I just got an offer, $1 million in Orleans. And I messaged him and I said, dude, I wasn't expecting this, but maybe be prepared. If you guys are serious about moving right now. Then I also said, I do feel that there's going to be more listings on the market this spring than there's been in years. And I also think that there's going to be enough buyers out where a lot of them are still going to take their time. So I think there's going to be a big kind of push right away. And then there's going to be a bit more of a calm. And the buyers that strike right away are the ones that have been looking for like 12 months, 6 to 12 months, right? And they're ready to go. But I don't think it's going to be as impactful as it usually is this spring. However, what I'm seeing right now in the last week is like blowing my mind. So I don't know what to say. All I know is to say what's in front of me to my people,
So I think an important takeaway would be to price your properties aggressively. You don't have to underprice it massively, but price aggressively because you have to stand out from the pack. You have to be the best house
Yes.
in your price category. You have to be the best one. And once you are, people are going to offer because they have been looking and they will recognize that value and they will move on it. And if you're lucky, you'll end up like these people with 80 grand more than they asked.
Crazy.
But at least you're not going to be sitting there. And this year we're seeing a lot of people that bought during the peak. They have to sell now. And they're pricing it where they want it to be, but that's optimistic and they're ending up stuck on the market and then stigmatized because people see they've been on the market for too long.
And that's the other thing. There's so many townhouses coming out in Orleans right now that I feel are way overpriced, and those are the ones that are sitting. So the ones that
they're trying to recoup their costs.
They're trying to recoup their cost.
And this is the conversation we as realtors have to be saying, like, do you want to sell or not? And can you please also keep in mind that this house has housed you for 5 years. So even if you don't make a profit, you've lived there for 5 years without paying rent. So sometimes you just got to cut your losses or just realize you're breaking even on a situation and go. But if you're moving into your next home, you're going to take a cut on this house, but you're also going to save money on the house you're moving into. So again, when you said flatline, I'm like parallel move. This is when the savings are the same as the losses. So just get on with your life and do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's well said. And I think we see that everywhere. I completely agree, Greg. I think we've seen so many buyers over the last 2 years. Like I've had buyers that were pre-approved 2 to 2.5 years ago, shopping for a year, tell me they're taking a break, came back 6 months ago, have been shopping again for a year or 6 months or what have you. Like they've just kind of been in the loop for the better part of 2 to 2.5 years. But I think there are a lot of buyers on the sidelines that are waiting. And as you said, Francis, are knowledgeable, know where prices are, will see the value when a home is
Mhm.
priced properly. And if they're working with an agent like yourselves who are knowledgeable, they'll be like, listen, this is a steal. Like we need to get on this. I do think, however, though, Greg, that when we see houses priced that way, like any asset class, I mean, we see this in the actual stock market as well, that like when a people think that a home should be valued at 600,000 and they see it at 580, you're going to attract 10 offers
Mhm.
because people know the value. It's like there's so much more informed, so much better informed now that they know that 580 is a steal. So they're going to
Because
act
they've
on it.
been shopping. They've been shopping for a
Exactly.
while. They've been doing homework for, like you said, sometimes 2 years.
Yeah.
I
So
like that.
they know the value, they're ready for it, and they're going to be ready to put an offer in. But then again, that creates that multiple offer situation where then that
Yeah.
580 now becomes 650 and all of a sudden it's not as attractive, but they're in it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I was
So what does that
hoping
look
wouldn't
like in the
happen this
spring,
year.
right? With offers.
I was hoping that wouldn't happen this year, but it's happening. And I have a buyer that I've been working with. They have a very specific budget. Everything we've been seeing is a little bit small. Not afraid of work, but everything we're seeing is a little bit small for him and his kids. And now we're in a scenario where there was two others that we went to see. Both of those sold in multiples. And now we're going back to the smaller ones because he's like, I'm not spending any more money than this. And then I'm like, well, you might not have anything left in the, and he's in a very specific area as well. So that's even more challenging. But it sucks because like I hate being that guy where I'm just like, dude, like I don't know what to tell you. All I can do is say you need to be prepared because if this is happening now and it's only the end of January, I don't know what you're going to be able to get for that price. You may be moving into a condo, which we were strongly against when we started this.
Well, that's it. It's tempering expectations.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're either going to stay in the apartment you're renting for the rest of your life, or you're just going to have to get into the market
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're going to have to
Exactly.
learn how to live in a smaller space.
And would you both agree, this is what I feel at least, that we're kind of now I see rates have stagnated a bit. They're actually creeping down slightly, but they're still kind of in and around that 4%, both fixed and variable. So I would say rates are going to probably stay around, the 3.6 to 4.6 range for the year. There would be somewhere in that range, right? So rates have kind of stagnated. Where do you see the market going in the next 12 months? Like, are we going to see more people entering it? Are people going to be downsizing? Greg, you were mentioning a lot of listings. Like, just generally speaking, like, where do you see the next 12 months going in the city as far as like transactions, prices, et cetera?
You want me to start, Francis?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, I thought it was going to be slower than what I'm seeing now, to be honest. So I'm not
Mhm.
sure, but I do think if there's a peak, it won't be as aggressive as it usually is in spring, and that it will be, I think we're going to stay about the same as we are now. We may even drop in terms of sales and price point. There's too much going on in the world right now for, people are making different decisions now, and home ownership, I feel for a lot of people is not as important as other things such as like, providing groceries for your family, making sure that you have a place to live, that you're not going to be removed if, someone, a landlord needs to sell and they, just because they have to, because they have no equity left, they're taking $100,000 loss. And then you have to go find something else and you have to pay even more rent, depending. I mean, there's a lot of factors at play. So I don't feel that there's as many people who are actively looking for homeownership this year. I think that will change in the future. But for this year, I think it's a flat line other than a peak, now for the next like 4 or 5 months.
Hmm.
What about you,
So,
Francis?
well, I think so, Greg. So you think the only people moving are going to be those that have to move?
No, I don't think only.
Okay.
I think there's some that still want to move, that still want to
Mm-hmm.
buy.
Mm-hmm. But not as many. There's a lot of
Not
uncertainty.
as many. No, I think people's perspective about home ownership is changing
Yeah.
a lot. I think there's a big change where freedom and ease of movement is taking priority over home ownership as a big investment. I think there's
Okay.
other places that people want to put their money and they want to be able to travel and move quickly if they need to.
I don't know. What do you think, Paul? Paul, you're the mortgage guy. You are the one that tracks the trends. I
What
just
kind
show
of answer was
houses.
that, Francis? What kind of answer was that? What are you doing here?
I'm gonna listen to both of you guys, and then I'm gonna make up my mind.
Then you're going to
That's how
assess.
it's gonna
All right.
work. Yeah.
Personally, I think we're near the bottom as far as prices. I think we probably hit the bottom a few months ago or sometime last year. I think that there's renewed confidence in the market. This is my opinion. I think the buyers that I'm speaking to that were kind of taking a break are now back and feel like it is a good time to buy. Now, have they said that before? Yes. So I think the spring market will be very telling. But I think the prices and the rates have hit a point where, it makes sense now to buy. I think when rates were in the fives and prices were higher, people were thinking like, I'm just going to wait. And that was what pushed a lot of people to the sidelines. I think now rates sitting around 4%, which is historically quite low, and prices being fairly stagnant or equal to what they were a few months ago. Like, I think it's a good opportunity for people. I think if you look at home prices now versus in 6 months from now, you're going to be happy you bought now versus in July or August. That's my opinion. But again, I don't have a crystal ball, but I think we will see come the end of 2026 that anyone who bought in January to March is going to be pretty happy with that purchase. That's my opinion. But
Yeah.
but I'm also criticized of pumping the market constantly. So, I don't know I don't know how much weight my opinion carries.
What I've been hearing is over the course of the year, about a 5% increase in prices. And I mean, this is nobody can really know. I am getting more calls for listings this January than I have before in my career.
Mhm.
But that may be just me personally because I'm working harder than I have in a little while. Um,
No,
but
that's consistent with a lot of people I'm
yeah,
talking to.
yeah, and I do think that buyers have been playing the how low can it go game.
Mhm.
And like Paul said, I think they're starting to see that when that one that they thought might be around 600 is in at 580, they're like ready to rock. So I'm hopeful about this year. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think there'll be a lot of listings. I just think that the buyers that have been waiting will jump in because those listings, as you said, some people have to sell. They might have to take less than they want, but they've been waiting literally for that opportunity. So I think that we're not going to see the days on market extend. I think we're going to see it shorten because those buyers are going to step in and accumulate, or investors even, like kind of accumulating all those properties that are going to be listed. So I think it'll be, time will tell, but I think the spring will be very telling as to how the rest of the year will go because, as you said, more listings means more properties available, but more properties available means those buyers have more options and hopefully will, get into the market as opposed to kind of wait and see.
It's a
Um,
buyer's market.
I
it's a buyer's
definitely
Bring
market. I
me
think
an
we all agree
offer.
on that.
I
Yeah.
do, the 5% increase number. I think that like halfway through the year, that for sure will happen. And I think it's going to go back down to zero by the end of the year. I
Okay.
think it's going to go, yeah. Because
Okay, so we'll meet again.
we'll meet
We'll meet
again.
again at the end of
Yeah.
the year.
Yes.
See
Yeah.
what's up.
We'll do it. Well, yeah,
like
we'll
it.
do a year-end summary. Well, we should do it
I'll
before
put
that. but
$5 on it.
$5, $1
I'll
per
put
percent.
$5.
$5, not a penny more.
So very quickly, I have one last segment, but it will be very quick. It's just a speed round. So East or West. So what I'm going to do, it's rapid fire, no thinking, one word answer. You can both answer at the same time. I'm going to throw out something, some comment. You just tell me East or West, and we can debate if needed. So number one, better commute downtown. I'll start easy.
East.
West.
Better starter homes.
East.
Yeah. East.
Better parks and green space.
West.
I mean, it's tough. The green belt, it's everywhere. We've got so much green space out here.
It's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
So it's south.
Both. It's
Okay.
both.
Yeah.
Ottawa as a
Funny.
whole, more green space.
We grew
Yeah.
up in Beacon Hill, and my brother actually played on a Gloucester Hornets soccer team that was called the Greenbelt. It was like an upgraded version of
That's
of
amazing.
soccer at the time, but that's how Greenbelt Gloucester is. Better value under 600,000.
Orleans.
It's Orleans. Yeah, it's East End.
And last but not least, better community vibe.
West. Come on. Sorry, Greg.
Yeah. You know what?
Come at us, Greg.
No,
Sorry,
I'm
Greg.
indifferent. I'm indifferent about that. I find that, and I mean, and this is me, and I have young kids. I'm finding that the community out here is not what it used to be, and I don't know. Oh, I don't know. It's just different, and I can't really speak on it any more than that because I don't live anywhere but here, right? But it's just not. It's not the same.
So out here in Carleton Place, I keep a page called Living in Carleton Place on
Yeah.
Facebook. Our official population is 12,500. I have over 26,000 members in Living in Carleton Place. And I do an update every weekend about what's happening in town. And there is always more to do than I have time to mention in my video
That's
update.
cool. Yeah.
We are a thriving community with so many events, so many festivals, and it's a really great feeling town.
I
I'm
believe
very
that.
proud of it. Yeah, I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, I've been singing Carleton Place's praises since I moved here. But I will say, like, Francis, your videos about the weekend, like the last one was 2 or 3 minutes, and it was like, okay, we got live music here, 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 here. We got this happening, this food festival, this
Yeah,
antique show, this
yeah,
country music. Like, it was just nonstop, and it was just, we're a small town, you know, it's
yeah.
12,000 people here.
It was
But I
under
will
2 minutes, Paul. I never
was
go
under
over 2 minutes. Come on.
2 minutes or less. But I will say that the feel out here, and I say this to everyone that asks, like the feel in Carleton Place is of a true community. And I think you would get that also in Smith Falls, and I'm sure parts of
I think
Orleans,
the
Rockland.
smaller
But
towns for sure.
it just feels like, especially being kind of on the main strip, like people, and then people on the street will actually have their heads up, say hi to you, and acknowledge that you're a human being walking down the street. It's just, it feels like a community. People say hi. You know, you go into a store, it's a store owner or a restaurant owner or cafe owner. Like, it's the people that are invested in the community that are actually in these places, and it's, you feel it. Like, it feels different.
That's cool.
It's
And then when it
like
comes out,
being
it
in a
feels-
TV show. It's like being in a TV show. And then when you run into your friends, you'll be like, "Did you hear?" And everybody knows each other, and it is really charming. It's
So
charming.
Francis and
want
I did
that.
a short video on her Living in Carleton Place page. And as we were recording, Madden was actually helping us. My son, he was doing the recording, had a great time. But as we're walking by these storefronts on Carleton Place, all the owners are just waving at Francis through the window. Hello. Like, it's like walking with Santa Claus or the mayor down the street. And everyone's just waving like the queen, you know, it was
Yeah,
hilarious.
I know everybody, and I love it. Yeah.
So,
Come on, Greg, come to Carleton Place.
yeah.
You know what? Maybe.
Greg, you know this, and Francis, you probably do from listening last week, but we like to end the show with a couple mood boosts just to lift everyone's spirit going into the week. So I have 3 today. You guys can be
Okay.
the judge of how great they are. So, number 1, what does a tapeworm and the Eiffel Tower have in common?
I don't
They're
know,
both-
Paul.
They're both parasites. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Number 2, how many paranoid people does it take to change a light bulb? Who wants to know?
Well done. Well done.
And last but not least, when I was a kid, my dad got fired from his job as a road worker for theft. I refused to believe he could do such a thing, but when I got home, the signs were all there.
Yes.
I'm going to use that one on my children, Paul.
Yeah.
They'll love it.
Quick thank you to you both for being here. Thank you for carving out some time in your day and educating
Thanks
our
for
listeners,
having us. This was fun.
being present.
Yeah. Thank you.
And quick shout out as well to our amazing sponsors, Guertin Poirier, Avocat Lawyers, Big Insurance in Westboro, Centum, and Easy Neon Signs. We're here every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Tune in. Make sure to subscribe, follow us on our socials. Francis and Greg's contact info will also be in the description, so make sure to follow them, check them out. Thank you both for being here. That was a lot of fun. We'll definitely have you back.
Thanks, Paul.
All right.
Nice to see you, Francis.
Have a great day.
Bye.